Have you ever wondered about the bloody history behind the serene beauty of Yellowstone National Park? Let's take a back in time around 2 million years ago, when Yellowstone was but a budding idea in Mother Nature's grand scheme. It was born not with a whimper, but with a bang. A series of them, in fact. The monstrous volcanic eruptions that rocked the region were nothing short of apocalyptic, spewing molten rock and ash with such ferocity that they sculpted the landscape into the magnificent spectacle we marvel at today. Picture this, if you will: colossal calderas, geysers spurting steaming water high into the sky, and bubbling hot springs painting the terrain in a palette of otherworldly hues. These are not just geological features, they are testament to the violent, fiery birth of Yellowstone. But before Yellowstone was known as the world's first national park, before the arrival of Europeans, it was home to Native American tribes who braved the harsh elements and the rugged terrain. Their stories echo in the wind that rustles through the park's towering pines and across its vast grasslands. The Crow, the Shoshone, the Blackfoot, the Bannock. These tribes were the first to tread the Yellowstone wilderness, living in harmony with the land and its formidable forces. They respected the power of the land, recognizing the life-giving and life-taking aspects of the park's geothermal features. They hunted bison in the Lamar Valley, fished in Yellowstone Lake, and sought spiritual guidance in the park's mystical landscapes. Yellowstone's history is etched not just in the layers of volcanic rock, but also in the cultural heritage of these tribes. Their legacy is a reminder that Yellowstone's story is not just one of geological marvels, but also of human resilience and adaptability. The birth of Yellowstone was a violent and tumultuous event that shaped the landscape we see today. But remember, amid the tranquility of Yellowstone's sprawling vistas, the echoes of its fiery birth and its first inhabitants still reverberate, whispering tales of a time long past, but not forgotten. But the violent eruptions were not the only bloody events in Yellowstone's history. The tranquility of Yellowstone was disrupted in the late 18th century with the arrival of European explorers. These new visitors, drawn by tales of a land of endless beauty and natural wonders, would soon become the source of a turbulent chapter in the park's history. The Europeans came with dreams of prosperity, but their arrival was a harbinger of conflict and bloodshed. The land of Yellowstone wasn't uninhabited. Native tribes such as the Shoshone and the Blackfoot had been living harmoniously with the land for generations. Their lives were about to be uprooted. The Europeans' arrival didn't sit well with the native tribes, and it wasn't long before tensions escalated into bloody battles. The native tribes fought fiercely to defend their ancestral homes, but they were outmatched by the Europeans' advanced weaponry and relentless pursuit of domination. What followed was a series of brutal conflicts that painted the pristine landscapes of Yellowstone with the blood of its original inhabitants. The battles were fierce and the loss of life tragic. The native tribes, in a desperate struggle to protect their homes, found themselves in a losing battle against the seemingly unstoppable force of European expansion. The struggles culminated in the eventual displacement of the natives from their ancestral lands. The Europeans claimed Yellowstone as their own, marking an end to the native tribes' reign over the land they had called home for centuries. The displacement of the natives marked the beginning of a new era for Yellowstone, an era characterized by exploitation and disregard for the natural wonders that had drawn the Europeans to the land in the first place. The once harmonious relationship between man and nature was disrupted, replaced by a relationship characterized by domination and exploitation. The arrival of Europeans marked a dark chapter in Yellowstone's history filled with blood and conflict. Yet despite the bleakness of this period, it's a chapter that's crucial to understanding the Yellowstone we know today. A park that's a testament to the resilience of nature and a stark reminder of the consequences of human greed and ambition. The violence did not stop with the displacement of the natives. In fact, it took a rather different yet equally destructive turn. The year was 1872. The United States government, in a move that was both visionary and unprecedented, established Yellowstone as the first national park in the world. But as the saying goes, The road to hell is paved with good intentions. The establishment of the park, while seemingly a protective measure, led to a surge of visitors. And with them came the exploitation of Yellowstone's bounty. The park's wildlife was a prime target. Bison, elk, and other game were hunted down ruthlessly. Poaching became a booming business. The park's bison population, once teeming with life, was reduced to near extinction. It was not just the animals that bore the brunt of this exploitation. The land itself was not spared. Visitors stripped the park of its resources, from the mineral-rich soils to the towering trees. Deforestation became rampant. Whole sections of the park were denuded, the verdant green replaced by barren wasteland. The park's ecosystem, a delicate balance of flora and fauna, was disrupted, its harmony shattered. While the park was meant to be a sanctuary for nature, it became a playground for those who saw profit in its resources. The establishment of Yellowstone National Park, instead of protecting the land, had inadvertently made it a target for exploitation. This exploitation was not without consequences. The park's ecosystem suffered greatly, with species disappearing and habitats destroyed. The once vibrant landscape became a shadow of its former self, a testament to human greed and disregard for nature. But it was not all doom and gloom. Amidst the destruction, there were those who saw the error of their ways and sought to rectify the damage. It was a long and arduous journey, but it was a journey that had to be taken. The establishment of the park was meant to protect it, but instead it opened a new chapter of violence and exploitation. But as we will see in the next scene, the story of Yellowstone is not one of unending destruction. It is a story of resilience, of nature's ability to bounce back, and of humanity's capacity for change. The story of Yellowstone is not all doom and gloom, though. With the dawn of the 20th century came a growing awareness of the need to protect and conserve nature's bounty. Yellowstone, bearing the scars of past exploitation, became a poster child for this new ethos. However, like with any change, these efforts were met with resistance and sparked a series of controversies. One of the most notable conservation efforts was the reintroduction of wolves into Yellowstone in the mid-90s. Wolves, once native to the region, had been hunted to near extinction by the early 20th century. Conservationists argued that their return would restore the balance of the park's ecosystem. The reintroduction of these predators was not without its critics, though. Local ranchers, whose livestock often wandered near park boundaries, feared that these wolves would venture out of the park and prey on their cattle. This ignited a fiery debate between the interests of conservation and livelihoods, a controversy that continues to smolder even today. This was not the only controversy. There were also disputes over the control and management of the park's resources. Some claimed that the government's focus on conservation was limiting economic opportunities, while others argued that short-term economic gains should not come at the expense of long-term environmental sustainability. And then, of course, there were debates over the very concept of a national park. Should these spaces be preserved in their natural state for future generations, or should they be made accessible for the enjoyment and recreation of the present generation? This question has been at the heart of many a heated argument, and it's a debate that, in many ways, defines the story of Yellowstone National Park. The conservation efforts in Yellowstone have been a complex dance of balancing ecological needs with human interests. They've been a source of inspiration for other conservation efforts worldwide, but they've also been a battleground, sparking off controversies that have challenged our understanding of nature, conservation, and our place within the ecosystem. Even in its efforts to preserve and protect, Yellowstone has been a battleground of conflicting interests. So, what does all this violent history mean for Yellowstone today? Well, the park that we see today is a testament to its turbulent past. A history marked by violent volcanic eruptions, bloody conflicts, and exploitation has shaped Yellowstone into an awe-inspiring landscape that continues to captivate the world. Today, Yellowstone is a veritable sanctuary of nature, teeming with a myriad of wildlife, from herds of bison grazing on the vast plains to the elusive grizzly bear roaming the dense forests. The park thrives with life, a stark contrast to the bloody past it has endured. Yet, despite its apparent tranquility, Yellowstone is not without its challenges. One of the biggest is maintaining the delicate balance between conservation and public access. The park is a loved and cherished destination for millions of people each year who come to marvel at its natural wonders. But with such popularity comes the risk of damage to the delicate ecosystems that call Yellowstone home. Park officials grapple with this conundrum daily, tasked with the mammoth responsibility of preserving the park's natural beauty while also accommodating the throngs of visitors. It's a tightrope walk for sure, but it's a challenge they undertake with unwavering commitment. At the same time, the park is also a constant reminder of its violent origins. The threat of volcanic activity looms large. The park sits atop a megavolcano, a sleeping giant that has the potential to awaken and unleash untold devastation. But as with many things in life, it's a risk we take for the opportunity to experience something truly extraordinary. In the face of these challenges, Yellowstone remains resilient, a testament to the enduring power of nature. It's a national treasure that, despite its bloody history, continues to captivate, inspire, and remind us of our place in the grand tapestry of the natural world. Yellowstone's bloody history has shaped it into the national treasure it is today, a place of beauty born from violence.